Ice and flames call my name. I freeze, I burn, I blame. I love, I hate the same. It's on my face, I cannot hide from the mistake my parents made. I'm never moving on. Not made from love, a remnant of a selfish motive. Was I needed? Do I need it to go wrong? Polarized in hair and pain, pumping through my veins. Ice and flames call my name. I freeze, I burn, I blame. I love, I hate the safe I embrace inside of me. I only fuel the fire. But is it wrong for me to fight against the balance of my power? History in halves, one brain. I will break the chain. Oh no, どこには呼ぶ燃える裏目凍ると僕の愛と嫌いにいる Oh no どこには呼ぶ燃える裏目凍ると僕の愛と嫌いにいる I love, I hate this Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I've become. Can't you see it in my face? A demon living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape. 僕の未来は誰にもわからない。皆は僕をダメなやつと思う。鏡を見つめる僕を見下げているけど中には大きな力規模がある Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I become. Can't you see it in my face? A demon living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape. You can't escape. No one understood the world that I was making. Look me in the face and tell
Alright. Welcome to another build guide, and this time we are doing a Ice Shot Deadeye build. And I'm gonna go over a couple of things before we get too much into the gear. I just want to say that I've played builds like this in the past. I'm a big fan of Ice Shot builds, and I'm a big fan of using Hope Shredder and stacking like Frenzy Charges, stuff like that, cold damage. I like using Void Fletcher because it's a nice bow and everything. So I played similar builds like this in the past, but the reason why I wanted to play this build is because of a jewel that I was like really hyped about. I saw this crazy ass jewel and I was like, yo, I want to use this jewel. And then after making every single thing for the build, I got every single item, I got everything ready, and I was good to go. And I was like, all right, now I just need that last jewel, because I hadn't looked it up before. I look it up and it's 80 divines. Like, it's like one of the most expensive items I've ever seen. And I was like, oh shit, now I'm screwed. I didn't get the jewel, I still don't have it, so I'm just gonna, I've just been able to play without it. But I still made it work, because I realized when I was making the character is that not a lot of people are playing this kind of a build, and most of the gear for this was actually very cheap when being kind of broken. So let's start off with the Hope Shredder Ranger Bow. This has bow fires an additional arrow on the corrupt. This was like 1 divine, I think. Or maybe 2 divines, like 6 linked and everything. It was pretty crazy, and I was like, wow, that's actually really cheap for such a strong bow. Because I like this bow. It gives you a lot of cold damage, attack speed, movement speed per frenzy charge, cold damage per frenzy charge, and stuff like that. It also gives you cold damage taken per second per frenzy charge while moving. But if you have a lot of cold rest, if you're like stacked out on cold rest, and you maybe even have like 76% like I have, because of survivalist, then you don't really notice it that much when running. And worst case scenario, you can put something in your offhand, you can just click X and you can weapon swap while you're running around, and then just weapon swap back when you want to kill stuff, you know, and then you're not going to take damage while running. So that's a nice trick that you can do as well. But I like this bow a lot, and when I saw that there's a +1 arrow, I was like, hell yeah, let's get it. And then I looked at the Void Fletchers, and guess what? Another Void Fletcher. Bow attacks for an additional arrow for like 1 or 2 divines, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is incredible. Like, I have +2 arrows here on like these unique items that I really want to use for the bow. Like, that's fantastic. So then I just built, you know, a generic eye shot build around that. I have a helmet here with Sniper's Mark, increased curse effect for more damage, because we're utilizing Sniper's Mark because we're assassin. We're Deadeye, and Sniper's Mark is great for projectile builds and bow builds. So I have that with some damage penetration on the cold resist. I have Pandemonious with Savagery. I have an Opal Ring with just strength, life resist, whatever, you know, that I need. Same here, just stats that I just need, life resists, shit like that. My gloves, I have inflict cold exposure on hit, so I, you know, deal more damage because we do cold damage. Some crit chance, some other stuff like increased damage with hits against chilled enemies. Belt, strength, stats, resist, life, elemental damage with attack skills, you know, shit like that. On the boots, movement speed, life, resists, basically all that I need. Nothing really crazy. Hero's Ire, just a normal one. Bold Faith and Dying Sun for more damage. And yeah, I mean, like, that's basically it. There's not really that much crazy stuff going on here. I'm also using Lionized Fall and a Intuitive Leap, some Searching Eye Jewels, that's pretty nice, you know, boosting my damage. I do have a Watcher's Eye with crit chance while affected by hatred, and I also have Forbidden Flesh. This is actually a very big thing. I have Forbidden Flesh that gives me more movement speed, attack damage, and evasion rating per frenzy charge, since I'm trying to get a lot of frenzy charges on the build. Now I only have 6. I only have the 3 ones here, and then the 3 normal ones. I'm not stacking that hard. I could probably change this build up a lot more and actually go harder on the frenzy charge stacking and actually make this a lot more stronger. But I got kind of down after I realized that the jewel that I wanted was so expensive, so I kind of just haven't played the build. Because the jewel that I was going to get is some jewel that we'll go over later, because I don't really know the name of it. It gives you like a brittle when affected by hatred, and you get this with Supreme Ego, and you have like hatred as your only aura, and like the damage is absolutely insane, But it was so expensive, I didn't end up getting it, so I just had to make do without it. But it worked pretty fine. As you've seen in the video, you know, I've been able to clear most like semi-end game bosses, you know, like Guardians and Elder and shit like that, and map bosses, they die instantly, and I can clear maps pretty fine as well. So it was a really fun build, and I did enjoy it quite a bit. Yeah, as you can see here, the Sublime Vision Prismatic Jewel. Auras from your skills have increased effect on you, making hatred stronger. always inflict brittle while affected by hatred. So brittle will give us a lot of crit chance, basically maxing our crit chance, so we can deal a lot of damage because of having 100% crit chance, and aura skills other than hatred are disabled. Now that's not really a problem because I was just going to use hatred anyway, but as you can see here, the price is absolutely nuts. When I saw it, when I wanted to get it, it was 80 divines, and right now it's sitting at 130 divines minimum. I had no idea this was such an incredible jewel for everyone, but thinking about it, I mean, like, look at the damn thing. It's absolutely crazy. Of course it's going to be expensive. I was just not really anticipating this kind of a price. Now, for gems, I'm actually using two different setups, one for clearing and one for killing bosses. And I also have some other stuff, but let's go over the clearing setup. I have elemental damage with attacks, chain, awaken added cold damage, increased critical damage support, GMP, and then eye shot. I use this for clearing like this. And then in my armor I have awaken elemental damage with attacks, awaken cold pen, inspiration, barrage, increased crit damage as well, and eye shot. And I use this for single target like this. And then in my helmet I have hatred, blood rage, summon ice golem, and hydrosphere. And then in my gloves I have enhance, life tap, mark on hit, and sniper's mark. And then the boots, cast when damage taken, immortal call, second wind, and dash. Now I actually realized that I wasn't really utilizing hydrosphere, or I forget it sometimes, and I don't really play this character too much, as I only made it to use that jewel, but I never got the jewel, so I just filmed some footage and then I haven't played him at all basically. So yeah, this gear is literally just rotten in hell right now. Thank you very much for watching the video, and remember to be an absolute legend by dropping the subscription here on YouTube, or also following on Twitch over at twitch.tv/burgerbrush, and I hope that you have a fantastic night or day.